Statement, whoever said that, they're ignorant and they just contradict themselves.
Why? Do you have a reason?
Because, for example, okay, so if somebody from SLU would say that it's on the people, not the school, that really doesn't make any sense, because the school offers scholarships and these fundings to bring minorities to campus. So how can you say that it's just the people's fault if the school is doing it? You know, I just feel that has a lot of confusion and is very complex, and a lot of what is said in that statement, it just contradicts it.
It is, because like that's where you learn, and that's where you're going to be, like in college for 4 years, or like high school for however many years. Like if you don't learn it there, like where else are you going to learn it?
It's part of the school to address it, because people don't get that at home. Like they follow their parents, so if they can come to an institution that will implement it, it's a lot more effective.
The school system at what age grade level?
Does a school system, whether it be elementary, high school, college, how do you feel?
I would think it's relevant at the high school age. I mean, at high school level. I mean, it's important. It is a responsibility of the school, because being as the spread of globalization increases, you're part of a global community, and education is social, and that's a social aspect of our lives. So.
I can see where that argument makes sense. Just trying to focus on education. However, I mean, you cannot ignore what's there. You cannot ignore the truth, and you can't keep kids blind to what's, what they should know.
The characteristic of the captain is going to determine what the ship functions as. So if the general overall institution feels a certain way about diversity, then the students applying to said university are going to hold a similar viewpoint. And I attend St. Lawrence because when I toured it, I saw a diverse group of students. I saw a number of people that are not in the majority group, and I thought that's something I personally value, versus if I go to, I can't think of off the top of my head a university that straight up doesn't enjoy diversity. I don't think a university that would preach such a mentality would last.
I think the educational system is the one that should initiate diversity. Especially because this area is not very diverse, and you need to grab the attention of other people. Race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, all that. You need to grab that attention and to express to them the importance of coming to school, coming to upstate New York, coming to this campus. You can't expect people or other students to know that this campus is going to be diverse, or is going to be comfortable or acceptable or okay for them. So I think it's the schools, right? I think they need to do it.
Define diversity.
I haven't come up with my own definition, so I can't do that.
Diversity is having lots of people of different racial and cultural backgrounds together in one place.
Different.
Diversity. Okay, so I thought about this because you said this earlier. I think it's different cultures, different sexualities. I think it's just different. It's a variety of something.
Diversity is a multitude of people from different backgrounds, races, creeds, beliefs, experiences, who are able to stay in the presence of one another without any tensions or preconceived notions, and if there are any, be able to break it within the first meeting.
Diversity, as I said before, is different ethnic groups, different cultures interacting with one another. It doesn't have to be on a positive note, it could be on a negative note, but as long as different ideas off ethnic backgrounds are shared and interchanged with one another, then I think that's really what diversity is at its heart.
Diversity, as I said before, it's a group of people and cultures coming together as one. It can be at a workplace, in school, in a neighborhood, or some sort.
Diversity, I guess the way I said it at the beginning, a mixture between representations of all, where you can't see just like a majority of one group of people. I guess it would be just a very strong mixture between people of different ethnic, racial backgrounds, sexuality, orientation, gender.
I tried to define diversity at the beginning of the interview. For me, diversity is different perspectives and ideas. And it does not only limit itself to visual diversity, which I think is secondary to me, such as color of skin or orientation or any other kind of diversity. Number one diversity is that we acknowledge that we're different, that we're not only one certain strict culture that goes only in one way and thinks in one way. It's a culture that acknowledges everybody's input and perspective. So diversity is a multitude of ideas, all considered together.
Diversity is having people with different culture, different experiences, different opinions that can come together and share them.
I know. Group of different people coming together and being like a uniform whole.
Multicultural background, different ethnicities, different beliefs and ideas. Not only white.
I think I defined it already, but I'll define it again. To me, diversity is New York City, diversity is the world, diversity is seen through traveling. It's kind of like being flexible and being able to adjust. Adjustment is a big thing, and not necessarily assimilation, because assimilation means that you're truly throwing yourself into only one culture or something, but the fact that you're able to kind of like see yourself in all different types of cultures.
Diversity. I'm not really sure how to define diversity. It's not easy. You can say diversity is peoples of different races, but you can argue that race doesn't exist. You can say that diversity could be religion, but once again, lines are often blurred on that. So diversity, I guess you'd have to say, is just differences. It varies from person to person, but we all are different, and once you have lots of us, it creates diversity.
Again, as I said at the beginning, the idea of looking into a crowd and seeing different kinds of people and being 100% okay with it, because being different is not a bad thing, and just understanding that there is a difference between people and accepting that and getting to know them as people and not based on where they're from or anything like that. Just become friends with them.
Combination of various peoples, groups, and beliefs and ways of life.
Diversity. I don't know. I don't even think you could define diversity. In my opinion, it's just a mix of different things.
Diversity, to me, is knowing cultures around the world and where you fit in the world. Diversity. The differences of you compared to other people in their culture.
I think of the symbol, like I said, international.